Dear seekers of light, in the gentle embrace of wisdom, I welcome you to our sanctuary of enlightenment. Here, the river of sacred knowledge flows, nurturing the gardens of your spiritual growth. I'm Shalini, and to both our steadfast companions and new joiners, I extend my deepest gratitude. Your patience and open hearts embracing these words that journey to the soul's expansion are a beacon of light. Today, let's venture into the heart of Chitta clearing. Chitta clearing is a path illuminated by wisdom of Sri Vivekananda ji. These are called MAHAVRATAs, and these are not only vows, in fact, these are the gateways for soul evolution. This video is also related to the techniques I mentioned in the previous video, where I did mention that Mahavratas are one of the techniques which we can use on the path of spiritual journey to become a perfect human being, from Pashu to Adipurusha, or superhuman, I would say. The essence is to cleanse the accumulated dust of lifetimes from our minds through this process. Even in Bhagavad Gita, we are urged to become Sat Chit Anand, to remain in a perpetual bliss by purifying our chit or mind, ridding it of all the vrittis. These vrittis, the waves in the lake of mind, include pramana, right knowledge, viparyaya, misconception, nindra, sleep, vikalp, imagination, and smriti, memory. In our eagerness for spiritual enlightenment, we often forget that every process unfolds in its own divine timing, for our safety and growth, of course. When we dream, visualize, and imagine, we do so from an ordinary space of Chitta. Yet, saints and yogis perceive these visions through a realm far clearer Chitta than the human mind. Sadhana, the practice of disciplined spiritual effort, becomes the key to clarity for saints and yogis. Through sadhana, we cleanse the mind, that is allowing us to see life's potential and possibilities with extraordinary lucidity. These same 5 vows or Mahavratas that I'm going to share, echoing in Patanjali's Yoga Sutra and in Jain's philosophy by Sri Guru Mahavir ji, resonate as major commitments for the betterment of humanity. So let's begin. So the first is truthfulness or satyata. Speaking the unvarnished truth, however bitter or harsh, that is a pledge we often hear but seldom deeply understand. It is to speak the truth, not only to others but to oneself. To distort truth is to compromise our integrity, self-esteem, and values. Let silence be your ally when truth may cause pain, but let it never be corrupted. The harsh realities we often hide from the impressions society imposes on us. They all cloud our path. For example, in striving to mend relationships, we sometimes compromise our self-respect, self-esteem, and values, believing that we can change someone else's perspective. In doing so, we compromise our very essence. In our quest for justice, we must not forsake our own well-being. Not every relationship is meant to be mended. Some are destined to be released for the sake of inner peace. For making such decisions for relationships, use your own judgments in an individual cases. I'm sharing it as just a common example in the society to explain truthfulness in relationships. Do remember, every action is a karma. Next, a vow is non-violence or ahimsa. So non-violence is far-reaching. It extends beyond the realm of dietary choices. It includes avoiding all forms of violence, be it through harsh words, abusive action, or harmful thoughts. Gossiping, backbiting, scolding, and shouting are perfect examples of violence through speech. Non-violence extends to all living beings. It's the kindness we extend to animals, the compassion we offer to our fellow humans. It's the ability to respect the life force that resides in all the creatures, great or small. Even our thoughts can carry a violent edge. Mental criticism of another is a form of harmful violence. In short, if we are responsible for generating any pain in any being's life is called hinsa or violence. So be aware of any such actions. So moving on, the third one is non-stealing or asteyam. Asteyam means purity in words, thoughts and actions. It's about respecting the intellectual and creative property of others, acknowledging the origins of knowledge and giving credit where it is due. It's steering clear of the theft of ideas, whether through deliberate or unintentional means. In today's era, which is the information era, respecting these principles becomes even more critical. In a world driven by the free flow of information and knowledge, it's easy to fall into the trap of using others' work without permission or proper attribution. But each act of theft, big or small, intentional or unintentional, carries karmic weight. Although all the information prevailing is pre-existing, as we are repeating a yuga in our time cycle, and all the information, technology, innovation, everything has its own past. If we are aware of the authentic origin, we must acknowledge or cite it in our actions. Stealing in any shape or form must be avoided to credit any heavy karma in our account. So next vow is celibacy, brahmacharya. Brahmacharya or celibacy encompasses the purity of speech, thought and action. It's not limited to marital chastity only. Marital chastity, it extends to purify in all aspects of life like belief systems, culture and religions. It's about avoiding any attachments that might compromise our purity of mind, body and soul. Monks and yogis take vows of celibacy to avoid any alliances that could disrupt their purity. The very essence of marriage is the word of sadhana differs from the societal perspective. It's a deeper transformative union, a topic we'll explore in a future video maybe. Now the next and last vow, number 5, non-possession or detachment or aparigraha. Aparigraha teaches us not to accept any goods or gifts even in the times of despair. It's a reminder that nothing in this world truly belongs to us. We are merely temporarily custodians of resources. When we accept without returning, our hearts become impure and we lose our independence. Instead, we must recognize that nature, the ultimate giver, bestows these resources upon us to use. And we must respect and love the environment, not seeking attachment, but rather finding ways to give back to the nature. Monks give up relationships, pleasures, and feelings to cleanse themselves for spiritual progress. Their sole position is the cloth on their bodies and their devotion to the path. On the path to purity and enlightenment, dear souls, these are the 5 sacred vows, the Mahavratas, that pave the way in easier ways. If we wish to grow spiritually, these vows becomes our guiding light. As I conclude this message, I carry a prayer in my heart. I invite you to share your questions and comments in the space below. In the future videos, I will dive deeper into these vows, exploring each one in detail. So until then, much love and namaste.